So I happen to have on hand with me HP NV17 3D and the HP Pavilion dv7t Quad Edition. So these two laptops are very similar in terms of specs and performance you can get, but the HP NV17 is a more premium design and certainly has a more premium price on HP.com. Now, if you're trying to decide between these two, I just wanted to give a quick overview of how they're different, how they're similar. So they're both obviously 17-inch laptops. The NV17 has the capability of having a 3D screen. The screen hinges on the NV17 are about the same size as what you get on the Pavilion dv7t-7. So as far as like feel of the hinges, they're certainly both solid. So the NV17 has a little bit less wiggle than I find I can get on the dv7t, but both are very well built. As far as design now, obviously you notice that you get the aluminum finish on the NV17, whereas on the dv7 it's a brush metal finish. So it's just got a thin metal layer on top here, whereas the NV17 is a thicker aluminum skin. So as far as build quality, that would go to the NV17. On the lid now, you get a black lid on the NV17, and on the dv7t, the brush metal finish carries over there. I have the NV17 here on the left and the dv7t on the right. So we're just going to compare the ports of each of these. So on the NV17 you get 2 USB 3.0 ports, then you get microphone, 2 headphones, and on the left side of the dv7t you get a VGA monitor out, HDMI, Ethernet port, 2 USB 3.0, microphone, and a headphone port. And also notice that I have a slot loading optical drive here on the NV17. On the right side of the NV17 we have the media card reader, and then you have HDMI, 2 display ports, and then 2 more USB 3.0 ports, and the Ethernet LAN port. Now, if I rotate my dv7 around, by the way, there's a media card reader here on the front of the dv7. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, I have a USB 3.0 and USB 2.0 port, and the power jack here, and the optical drive, which is not slot loading. So the NV17 has the advantage of 2 display ports here. You do not get those on the dv7t. So that can certainly be an appealing option, as it with DisplayPort you can output to multiple monitors. With HDMI you cannot. In terms of performance, the NV17 and the Pavilion dv7t are pretty close. However, with the NV17 you can get up to an AMD 7850M graphics card, and with the NV7t, although I don't have it in here and it's not displaying, you can get up to the NVIDIA 650M. Now the AMD 7850 is slightly more powerful, so if you're into gaming, the NV17 would be a better option. As far as processors go, the Core i7 that's in this is quad-core 3612 QM, so that's 2.1 gigahertz. And in the dv7t, it's the Core i7 3610 QM. So basically the processor selection is the same between these two laptops, and there's no real advantage there, but both can be configured with up to 2 different hard drives or SSDs for performance, and the RAM is configurable up to 32 gigabytes in each. So the performance is pretty equal between these two. However, with the benefit of the AMD 7850 and the NV17, it could be potentially more powerful than the dv7t. But both are very powerful laptops, and once you look at the price, the NV17, especially the 3D version, starts at around $1399, so it is much more expensive than the dv7t, which can be had for around, well, under $1,000 with a high-end gaming configuration.